¡Ay, coño! Está caliente. There it is. Ahora sí, nos fuimos. Good morning, fam. I'm Jamili, and welcome back to the Morning Drop.
Ooh, this cafecito is piping hot. But so is this story.
All right, it's Jenny, and let's get into Tom Holland and Zendaya's recent trip to Mexico. They visited Mexico to promote the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. And during a fan event in Mexico City, the stars were presented with a Mexican flag that had been customized with Spider-Man artwork. It was gifted by local Mexican artists, and instead of the official Mexican coat of arms in the center of the flag, it featured Spider-Man themed graphics. Tom and Zendaya smiled, held up the gift, and thanked the crowd, clearly treating it as a heartfelt fan gesture. But once photos and videos spread online, reactions became pretty divided. A lot of fans thought it was a creative tribute that mixed Mexican pride with Spider-Man fandom. They argued the gift was made with good intentions and was simply a unique keepsake for the actors. Others, however, felt differently. Critics pointed out that Mexico has laws protecting its national symbols, and they argued that replacing the official national emblem on the flag, even for a themed design, showed disrespect toward an important national symbol. That sparked conversations about whether customized versions of the flag cross a legal or cultural line. It's also worth noting that most of the criticism wasn't directed at Tom or Zendaya themselves. Many people acknowledged they were simply accepting a gift from fans and likely weren't aware that modifying the Mexican flag can be a sensitive issue. Instead, much of the discussion focused on the design of the gift and the broader question of respecting national symbols. In the end, what was meant to be a memorable fan moment turned into a much bigger discussion about the balance between creative fandom and cultural respect. What do you think? Was it a harmless fan-made tribute, or should national symbols always remain untouched?
Buenas, it's Lau, and this past week I was doom scrolling on IG when my thumb literally stopped in its tracks. The post was for an article titled "Call Her Mami. Gen Z women are paying for and parenting their boyfriends." I immediately knew this had to be my topic for this week's podcast. The article, written by The Cut, follows several Gen Z women who say they're the only ones pitching in financially in their relationships. Apparently, there's even a TikTok trend where some Gen Z men jokingly call their girlfriends Mami, because that's essentially the role they're taking on. But as I was listening to the article on the treadmill, I quickly realized the issue for these women wasn't actually having to contribute more financially. The real issue was what they saw as a lack of ambition from their partners. Duh. These weren't stories about someone going back to school or starting a business. They were stories about boyfriends who seemed perfectly content staying exactly where they were. In Colombia, we call that falta de juguete. But I wanted to know if this was rage bait or if there was actually data tied to it. No surprise that when I looked into it, I found studies showing that women are now graduating from college at higher rates than men. And in some major cities, young women have even begun out-earning their male peers early in their careers. But honestamente, I still don't think this is a money story. This is an effort issue, or in this case, the lack thereof. So what do you guys think? Is this a Gen Z problem, or has it been around and social media is just placing the blame on a new generation?
Buenos dias. Jamili here. If there's one thing certain, it is that history tends to repeat itself, depending on whether we've learned our lesson or not. That's what happened during a congressional hearing on July 22nd when Texas Representative Brandon Gill held up pictures of a Latina-owned brand's Latina Power merchandise and asked the director of the National Museum of American History to define what Latina Power means. When she answered, he questioned whether the Federal Museum should be selling products bearing those words at all. The exchange was bizarre for some, hilarious for most. But if you have a minimum of a historical conscience, you'd be among those alarmed. The products are part of Shop JZD's catalog. The brand that started in a bedroom in Brownsville received a call from the Smithsonian after 7 years of work and saw its product on a shelf next to the American history, right where they belong. And that should have been a wonderful, happy ending. But as we know, in this country, that's hardly ever the case. And again, by now, this shouldn't surprise us. Just look back for a second. In the 1930s, the US government deported up to 1 million Mexican Americans, 60% of them US citizens, using railroad companies to do it. In 1943, service members spent more than a week attacking Mexican youth in Los Angeles for wearing zoot suits. The LAPD arrested 600 of them. At the Blackwell School in Marfa, a segregated school for Mexican American children that operated from 1909 to 1965, faculty organized an event called the Burial of Mr. Spanish, in which students were made to write their favorite Spanish words on slips of paper, place them in a cigar box, and bury them at the base of the American flag. Teachers had the habit of beating those who forgot and spoke in Spanish. Then, in 1988, California banned low-ride and cruising. It took 35 years to undo that ban. In 2010, Arizona banned Mexican-American studies. Last year, the Trump administration tried to defund the National Museum of the American Latino and stripped civil rights history from national parks. A hat that says Latina Power on a shelf is one step. That hearing proved how many are left. As the team behind the brand told us, quote, visibility isn't the same as acceptance. Someone can hold your products up on C-SPAN like it's evidence of a problem. And you know what? Good. Look closer. The products are still there, still selling. And we're not going anywhere.
This is Gustavo, and I'm here at the Laemmle in North Hollywood because American Pachuco, the legend of Luis Valdez, is out in cinemas now. Here with Lou Diamond Phillips. How do you feel seeing American Pachuco, the documentary, Legend of Luis Valdez?
I'm so thrilled to be a part of it, and the whole point is to support and to elevate and amplify the life that Luis Valdez has lived as a storyteller, as a playwright, as an auteur. I wouldn't be here if not for him, 40 years later. So I'm incredibly proud to have been a part of this and to really bring Luis the flowers that he's deserved for 40 years.
Luis Valdez, the subject of the American Pachuco. How do you feel seeing your own documentary on screen?
It's wonderful to be here with all the people in North Hollywood and con toda la raza. I think más gas, mano, dale gas. Adelante, vamos a ganar.
Felicidades. Here with filmmaker David Alvarado.
It's an incredible experience to watch a movie like this with an audience who really understand it and care about it and see themselves reflected on the screen. It's not every day you make a film. A documentary especially, where you can fill theater like that over and over again. So we're really proud of it.
And Christine Davila moderating the panel tonight.
It was so special. The level of cultural ancestry guardianship that Luis Valdez has is incomparable. He's a treasure.
I went to where the love is. It's the honey that we all crave. We need love in order to be able to live. It fills up our tank. And that's what we've lost in America. There's not enough love of people. That's been shattered. And because of that, we don't have love of country. How can we have love of country if the people hate each other?